What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to be taking a look at a pair of games that both feature Waddle and Embiggening Stone. And Embiggening Stone is a treasure that doesn't see that much use. I think that's going to change soon. It's receiving a small update on the beta, so that is something fun to look forward to. But in its current state, Embiggening Stone is really only something that sees play on like Waddle, and then Peter Pants if you can get really lucky, or Horde Dragon if you can grab one really early. But I do really enjoy playing Embiggening Stone on Waddle if you manage to grab it early with Treasure Map plus 3 Blind Mouse, and that is what we're going to be taking a look at in this game. Two games, both of which the exact same thing happen, and I think that that's always something that's good to set yourself up for in Storybook Brawl, because when you are able to put together that combination, you can do some pretty powerful things. So just starting these early turns by picking up some animals, nothing too crazy. And I'll put Waddle in position 4 so that way it doesn't slay and we can potentially get it. That was almost like a subliminal message there. New Storybook Brawl videos every day. Yeah, we'll throw Waddle in position 4 so that it doesn't slay. And basically just spent those first few turns picking up some animals and losing some health, but hopefully we can start to pick up some more animals, find some triples, and start to turn this around a little bit. We're only going to take 3 damage here from this fight. Kind of interesting how everything shook out. And then we will upgrade a golden chicken. And I don't mind taking Secret Stash. It's one of the few tier 2 treasures that I actually enjoy on Waddle. And then I'm going to go ahead and sell the golden chicken so that we can pick up this stag and this blind mouse. And those are going to be 2 of our puzzle pieces to make it later into the game. We'll also put the Waddle behind the stag so that way maybe that can slay. And I think that we are in a much stronger position than we were last turn, though we are playing up against a 40 health The Fates. So I do think there is a decent chance that we're going to get crack-a-lackin' into this Secret Stash. Actually, The Fates has not even completed a triple yet, so we've got a decent chance here. Unfortunately, Waddle fails to slay, so rather unlucky, and we are going to break into that Secret Stash indeed, and then we'll just do some rolling for some tier 3 animals. We're going to find a treasure map from the stag, and that's great because we already have this blind mouse. And now I'm just going to roll down for the blind mouse. I think that there are some other things that I could potentially pick up. If we went for a tier 4 treasure, we could find Forking Rod. I don't generally like to pursue tier 5 treasures on Waddle. They're just very awkward. It's like Ambrosia, Hand of Midas, Staff of the Old Toad, Mimic Chest, none of which really synergize with other things that Waddle's trying to do. So my main plan here is to find that blind mouse, and you already know, based off what I was saying at the beginning of the video, that is going to be eventually where this one goes. We will also be able to slay with Waddle. That's going to turn into a Prince Arthur. Not a super exciting one, but we do walk away with a win this combat. So that's pretty nice, and now it is time to roll for the mouse. And I'm just going to roll straight for blind mouse, ignoring everything else. See ya, Waddle, see ya, goat. Let's find the blind mouse. The pair of Wizard's Familiar is really tempting, but at this point, we are committed, and we're going to do nothing this whole turn. But that's fine, because I think that the payoff of a tier 6 treasure, even on 4.0, can be enough to get you back in the game. That's something that I employ a lot in my Celestial Tiger videos, kind of going all in and trying to find a tier 6 treasure. And the reason that I was so committed to rolling for it this turn is we are about to level up. So next turn, unfortunately, it is going to get a little bit harder. A little bit harder to find the pair of blind mice and actually find that tier 6 treasure. We are going to take a ton of damage this turn from Peter Pan. So 10 down to 18, but that's kind of like the magic number in those Celestial Tiger videos. So let's see if we can get lucky. We find the blind mouse, and we've got Embiggening Stone, Wand of Weirding, and Spear of Achilles. And Embiggening Stone is a treasure that I also, in particular, really like on Waddle. And the reason for that is you can so easily make doubles or triples, upgrades, but really doubles. It's important to call them doubles of your tier 2 units and tier 3 units. And I'm going to lock this shop mostly because it's got doubly. I think that doubly is one of the stronger units that you can pick up when you've got Embiggening Stone, and that's going to be something that we see in both games. And I am also going to use this time, so right now we went from being pretty far behind the rest of the lobby to being extremely ahead of the rest of the lobby, just with 320 attack and power creatures, basically like little Storm Kings here. So it feels like we're already level 6 and we're quite strong. Polywoggle's going to turn into Baba Yaga. It's not super exciting. It's a ranged unit. We'll see what we can do. We will potentially like True Love's Kiss that down the line or something like that. What you're also going to see here is I'm going to want to get rid of all of the animals that I have not that are already upgraded. And even the Prince Arthur that we polywoggled into, super unexciting at this point in the game. But I am really excited about doublies, and I am excited about Kitty Cupper. So one point that I wanted to get to, we also do get to make use of the Baba Yaga with the Kitty Cuppers, which is kind of cute. But one point that I wanted to get to is I called them doubles and not triples. And that's important because with Waddle, you are only, a little tongue-in-cheek there, only going to be getting plus 30 on your upgraded animals. Whereas if you actually tripled something, you'd get plus 45, and then a triply would get plus, oh gosh, what is that? Like plus 150. So for that reason, triply and doubly is really good. It's also just a 30-30 when you just pick it up fresh from the shop. So for that reason, I do generally like to pick up some triplies. And basically, I'm going to try to find Hatball while picking up triplies, animals, and other things. And I don't really care about any of this. It isn't a hat or a ball, but I think that looking for Hatball is the most powerful thing that we can be doing right now. There is a True Love's Kiss, but I think I'm actually just going to ignore that now. Now that we found the Kitty Cuppers to go along with the Baba Yaga, I'm kind of into that, and I want to use as much of my gold as possible to try to find treasures that set us up well for the rest of the game. So I'm thinking, okay, Prized Pig is pretty cool. One, because it is an animal, and then also because it's going to get us additional coin. And then something else that I was thinking about for a second there is Humpty Dumpty. The main consideration for Humpty Dumpty is that maybe we could get an Easter egg and pursue that avenue of victory, just try to crush the lobby in that way. However, when the pig gives us Merlin's hat, I am going to try to go back into spells a little bit and see what we can do. And we can see that this doubly is not going to come close to breaking down here, or triply rather, apologies. It is indeed a triply, and that's going to mean that our prized pig is going to survive almost every combat. It's going to just be really tough for my opponents to get at that, which is going to give us a lot of extra gold every turn and just a lot of ability to really pursue this crystal ball, because we've got the hat at this point. So we're just really looking for this crystal ball super hard, and it's basically what I'm going to be doing until we can find it here. And don't think we're going to wind up finding it this turn. Oh, actually, we do find another prized pig. So will we find the crystal ball? Not quite. So I'll just go ahead and skip and then pick up another Wizard's Familiar, and we'll skip this treasure as well. And then we can either roll or we can cast some spells. I'll throw this donkey in there just to be a little bit stronger. Do have to like sell off some of my units potentially. Like maybe should have sold my donkey if I'm planning on trying to pick up some more donkeys, but we'll make it work here. And I'm going to cut the Kitty Cup purse now that we are also not playing the Baba Yaga. And part of also the reason I put the donkey in is just a little bit more padding, a little bit more units that my opponents have to attack into to protect my pigs. And both of my pigs are going to make it out of this combat, so that is really sweet. We also get a kill onto Horde Dragon because we just have a board of upgraded animals, so that's really insane. And then we also got +8 gold for the turn. Honestly, super disgusting. And yeah, just really, really powerful. So we can potentially put this kitty cut purse back in now that we found a Grim Soul, though maybe we'll try to do something else with the Grim Soul this turn. Also going to look for another donkey right now while my other donkey is upgraded. Then I'm going to go for Polywoggles as well. And I go for the Polywoggle because I have the Grim Soul, and then basically we're going to turn the Grim Soul into an upgraded Baba Yaga and no longer care about it. Then I'm going to upgrade Kitty Cut Purse, and we are just finding tons of ways to make a ton of gold here, and even wind up combining, getting a triple on the Polywoggle as well. So I'll pursue this for a second, see if we can, because we're going to grab an upgraded tier 6 unit here with +30/+30. It's pretty good. And we'll see what we can do with that, and then doubly is still going to be more than enough to hold the line here. And now we've got an upgraded Gumblegore, we've got an upgraded Baba Yaga, and then we also have a bunch of gold this turn, 24 gold from everything that we've done. So I really want to still try to roll and find that crystal ball. I'm not sure if this is a mistake at this point, but it seems like, you know what, we've got the cash, we should be able to do this. I don't even want to worry about Aeons right now. I just want to try to figure out how we can pivot this into the end game. So what you're going to see me do is sell off the animals that I've already paired up, so that way I can more easily find them, and that is going to lead to me being able to find this crystal ball. So now we've got crystal ball plus Merlin's hat, and I am going to hang on to the Awakening Stone for a little bit longer here, but I'm basically done with it. If I can find Forking Rod, not going to be so lucky, but I will cast a few more spells before this combat is over. I'm going to pick up a pair of Polywoggles and then go for a Kidnap as well. And I'll also throw in this Kitty Cut Purse, so that way I can just continue to make some more cash. Basically, I'm just crushing the lobby at this point, and I want to see what other ways I can continue to crush the lobby. Our upgraded Polywoggle this time is going to turn into an upgraded Ashwood Elm, so that kind of puts me in an interesting spot here, because I've got an upgraded Ashwood Elm with +30/+30. That's a ton of stats if we are able to pick up a Burning Tree, and is obviously quite tempting, especially when I also see an Echo Wood here. And what we're going to wind up doing is playing a little bit of a hybrid of trees and not trees, because trees are obviously such a powerful premier endgame strategy at this point. Pick up a prized pig, didn't really need to. I'm not dropping the Embiggening Stone at this point. Probably should not have done that, but I think one thing that I'm looking for is potentially Polywoggle right now, so that way I can upgrade that and try to flip that into another sweet unit. And because we never found a Burning Tree, I'm just going to throw this doubly back in and see what we can do, and I'll just end the turn casting this Pigomorph, and then I try to buy another Ashwood Elm, but just don't have enough time to do so. Definitely a lot going on this combat. We are going to get a Slay with Kitty Cut Purse, so that is a ton more gold. That's oh, how much gold is that? That's 2 gold, so it's 6 extra gold. So we'll have 18 gold for this turn, and then we will also be getting a kill onto Geppetto. Might not really even matter what we did this game. Wonder Waddle with that early Embiggening Stone is just so powerful, but we'll see what we need to take down this Apocalypse here. Almost feel like I never really got into a comp, and you're going to see that's pretty similar in the next game as well. Both of these games play out pretty similarly in that we're just going to be getting some huge units and kind of crushing the lobby rather quickly, to be totally honest. I'm going to go for a Mix-a-Whizzle. That's going to give me an upgraded Echo Wood, so I'd really love to find a Burning Tree, but we still don't have it. I'm going to roll a little bit. We see a Storm King in this shop, and then we see another Ashwood Elm. I'm just going to end on a Toil and Trouble, though, to end the turn, and then I'll move doubly behind the Stag, just so that way that can get a little bit more stats for our Echo Wood. And we'll see what we can do with that. But my opponent is running trees. They do have some large units, but So do we. Our units are just going to be too big for my opponent to deal with. So we hit them for 12 down to 13. We've still got another turn to play though, and we'll see what we are able to come out with. I don't think I played this game the best that we could have, but we are going to wind up putting some pretty strong stuff together. I'm going to upgrade the Polywoggle, so maybe that'll give us a sense of direction, and then I'm going to True Love's Kiss the 9C Terror, find another upgraded Echo Wood, and then we can also lock on to an upgraded, or I'm sorry, another upgraded Ashwood Elm, then we can lock on to an Echo Wood to try to find an upgrade of that. Don't think it's going to be super necessary. We'll see. We'll see what we wind up needing, but our board's going to be absolutely huge here. We're also probably going to get this Slay with Polywoggle. I don't think we really need the Echo Wood. We need to find Burning Trees first before these Echo Woods are even relevant, so I am just going to let that roll away. Polywoggle will get the Slay, and then our Ashwoods will trade with some of my opponent's Echo Woods, and then doubly will be able to clean up the fight here. So we only hit them for 9, down to 4. My opponent definitely catching up, and we find a Robin Wood, so that's a pretty good unit. It is also pretty good because that will, well, it won't land on Burning Tree, actually, so never mind, strike that. But it will just be really nice to find a Burning Tree. It'll have a bunch of stats and just be really strong for us. Nothing really that I want to... Oh, that's right. This was a bug. This was patched actually by Rashi, the guy that handles the Storybook Brawl tracker, is now working for Storybook Brawl officially. But on this previous patch, if you tried to Beauty's Influence and then Shard of the Ice Queen something, you wouldn't be able to during the same turn. So just kind of a weird bug, but we do find the Burning Tree, so we are going to be able to make a pretty huge trees comp here. I'll dream at the last second, dream into... I actually don't even get it off in time, but it doesn't matter. We now have a bigger Burning Tree than my opponent does, and we are definitely going to be able to find the win here, and that one is going to be it. Kind of a weird ending there to end on trees. Ultimately, this next game, I told you we are going to be looking at 2 games in this video. That's part of what you get with me being able to speed up the content now. Maybe I'll be able to provide extra games, or just means you can watch more videos potentially too. But we're going to be jumping right into another Wonder Waddle Embiggening Stone game. We'll start this one off with a roll the die, picking up a Humpty Dumpty. That makes us pretty strong for the early game, an 8-8. That's going to be a tough one to crack for our opponents. And yeah, brings us off to a pretty nice start. I would have liked to have picked up the goat as well, but not too big of a deal. I'll go for golden chicken and then roll. And I really like this shop. I want, like, all 3 of these things, depending. And what I'm ultimately going to decide to do, though, is just pick up the blind mouse and try to roll. I feel like that is the earliest power spike that you can get on Wonder Waddle, and I did talk about this in my Press Your Luck video, if you haven't already seen that one. But basically, when I play Wonder Waddle, the first thing that I try to do is try to get lucky with... what are those little guys called? Blind mice. And after that, then I try to find Hat Ball, and that's immediately what I move into. Secondly here is I pick up a pair of Wizard's Familiars and grab a locked chest. That is also one of the few tier 3 treasures that I'm really interested in while I'm Wonder Waddling, because it can help you find Hat or Ball. So I really like that. We'll pick up the locked chest here, see what we can find off of that. I'm going to backline my Humpty Dumpty, but unfortunately it doesn't matter. My opponent is quite strong here. They've polywoggled and slayed, and they've got a big vampire and are kind of kicking our butt there. So a little bit awkward. We are going to be taking some damage, and the fact that we don't have our egg means that we couldn't sell our egg here, and I don't want to sell my upgraded Wizard's Familiar or my Blind Mouse, but I would have loved this turn to sell my Humpty Dumpty, pick up Stag plus Pig, and that would set us up really, really well for trying to create Hat Ball, having the locked chest, and then having 2 tier 3 animals already on Wonder Waddle. Yeah, that would have been really sweet, but we'll see what we can do. We've got the Stag, and Is our egg going to survive? It's not going to survive, and we are going to lose this combat. So, it's a little bit awkward, but it's actually fine. We get to pick up Stag here, and that allows us to pick up a tier 3 treasure. There's nothing that we can do if we skip this turn, so we basically have to pick up the treasure, because if we skip, there's no 2-drop in the shop that we could pick up, and we want to pick up this prized pig. I guess we could have rolled and used the sugar and spice. That's not a great use of our gold when we can just give the prized pig +2/+2 and pick up the fancy pants for future turns as well. And upgraded Stag is also going to be a huge upgrade to our board, because that'll give the prized pig +6/+6, which gives it some decent survivability and does potentially allow us to get that extra gold going into the next few turns. And Prize Pig's going to be big enough to battle with Donkey, but not big enough to deal with my opponent's board. They had Shepherd Sling plus Celestial Tiger. Then I'm going to wind up picking up a treasure map, and I do want to... well, actually, I'll just talk about it, because, okay, there's a few things going on this turn. Let's rewind back. I pick up the golden chicken, and that gets the fancy pants buff, but I think that's okay. And the main reason that I think that that's okay is I do really want to use this treasure map on the blind mouse, because grabbing a tier 6 treasure is just so strong. And I'm playing this game maybe a day or so after I played the previous game that I just showed to you guys, where I also got an embiggening stone and made a pretty similar setup to this quite early in the game. So that was definitely fresh in my mind. I was like, you know what? This looks like a really strong spot for embiggening stone, though I could certainly see being tempted by the Pandora's box in this scenario. But the biggest thing that is a huge difference in this game, 1, we've got 27 health right now, and 2, we are still on level 3. So it's going to be a lot easier. We are going to lose this combat, unfortunately, but it's going to be a lot easier to find tier 3 units and tier 3 animals. And first thing I'm going to do is I am going to sell off the units that I've created doubles of already, just so that way we can introduce those things back into the shop, because they're going to be stronger if we just sell them and rebuy them. And I'd like to just introduce them back into the shop before I start rolling. So that's kind of the idea here. I'll pick up a Stag, pick up a Kitty Cut Purse. Now I think that we're really strong. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the embiggening stone to get a really strong board with these doublies, with some doubles with the Wonder Waddle hero power, and then I'm going to use that to try to generate cash through Prized Pig and Kitty Cut Purse. Then I'm going to use that cash to try to find Hat and Ball, and we'll see what we can do from there. But that's the plan, pretty similar to last game's game plan, and it's looking like it's going pretty well. We're going to get 2 triple our doubly, get a triply right here, 155 on 4.1. Pretty strong stuff there. We're also going to be able to triple the Prize Pig and pick up the Crystal Ball, so that one is great. And then, I don't know, we can roll for Hat. Okay, well, that's pretty good. I'll sell off the Minotaur, pick up a pair of Donkeys, and see what we can find on that one. Not gonna find a Hat, so we will just wind up skipping on that one and casting a Candy Rain to end the turn. And I think that we have put together something quite good here. At this point, we either can find, because last game we were looking for the Crystal Ball the whole time, which that's the more important piece. This time we already have the Crystal Ball, so we do have a little bit more flexibility. We could just now find some XP, find Aeon, try to start slaying with Aeon, use the extra gold from the Kitty Cut Purse and the Prized Pig to fuel the Crystal Ball. That's also an option. And I definitely think that we can start playing for the end game and don't have to spend too much of our gold just rolling pointlessly for the treasures. I think that we've already put ourselves in a really good spot here. This is kind of interesting. I do this just to try it out, but we can Masquerade Ball and we'll see 2 level 4 units that get the +15/+15. So I just thought that would be kind of cute to potentially see something, but not going to be anything super relevant. I will pick up Brave Princess here. Normally you don't see Brave Princess on 4.2, but when Brave Princess has +15/+15, I feel like you can go for it. And I like some of the things going on in this shop too. I really like Spellweaver. I also don't hate the Turkish Delight, the XP, but I am thinking that we can really just use next turn to try to find Aeon. I do think I want to lock for Wizard's Familiars though, and again, like I said, we're just going to be kind of crystal balling. Maybe we'll find the hat, maybe we'll find the Aeon at some point, but we're also getting 2 extra gold per turn from the Aeon and then 4 extra gold per turn from this prized pig. And you can see my opponents are nowhere near close to harming the prized pig. We're not even going to get to attack with the Brave Princess, so maybe the Brave Princess was a little bit hasty there. I do think we could also play an additional prized pig instead of playing this donkey. And for that reason, I'm going to pick up the prized pig, and then we're going to find an Aeon and another Spellweaver, and I'll go ahead and grab those 2. And ultimately, yeah, I just think that we are in a really strong spot. Do we really need the Brave Princess? Not really, but maybe we can make it work. We're still not at a point where this Aeon can slay, but now that we have put the gold investment into Aeon, basically, I mean, I'm going to try for the Brave Princess again, see how far we can get, because why not? We're so strong, we can mess around a little bit, we can have a little bit of fun. But basically what I'm thinking is next turn, I'm going to have a huge gold bounty. I'll have +7 gold next turn, 2 from the cut purse, 4 from the pig, and then 2 from the other pig, actually. So 8 extra gold this turn if everything goes according to plan, which I think that it probably will. We are still looking quite huge. My opponent does have a vulture and a hippocampus, so there's a chance that they could break through, and Brave Princess is going to get her first slay. The prized pig is going to go down. Unfortunately, they actually both attack into the vulture, so a little bit unlucky. We are still obviously going to win, but we do donate a little bit of gold to my opponent. So that part's unfortunate, but basically what I'm thinking is at some point we just use all of our gold and convert it into stats onto Aeon, and that's kind of what I want to do. I'm going to sell out of the Brave Princess at this point because that one's just silly, and now I think I'm going to start casting some spells and trying to convert Aeon as much as possible. Extra health, that can go on doubly, but anything that gives extra attack is going to go to Aeon. So that's kind of the plan. Do have the opportunity to pick up another Aeon, but this is really awkward, and I do believe I wind up locking this shop and not really knowing exactly what I'm going to sell. I don't want to sell either of my Spellweavers, don't want to sell my prized pigs before this combat, don't want to sell my doublies, my kitty cuppers, I don't want to sell anything. I got a bunch of things and I don't want to sell anything. Luckily, our prized pig survives with 1 health there. That was really, really clutch. And then our doubly will be able to clean up Lancelot, and Aeon will get its first slay. So there we go. And all of our prized pig survives. We're walking away with a ton of gold, 20 gold here. So I think at this point, we are going to move away from prized pigs a little bit, and I'm going to pick up Sporko and Aeon, and I should have picked them up in the opposite order, so that way our Aeon had a little bit more attack, but you can see me trying to configure a little bit here to convert into Hat Ball, and our spells are just a little bit cheaper this turn. We're not getting the full 2 less discount of hat, but if we find the hat right here off the stag, that will be an easy replacement for the fancy pants, and now all of our spells cost 3 less, and we will be able to really start doing some powerful stuff this turn. We'll cast some spells right here at the very end and give our Aeons a little bit more attack, but now I'm just counting my mages and I'm seeing, okay, I've got 2 Aeons, 2 Spellweavers, a Sporko, and a Wizard's Familiar. So I've got, what is that, 5 units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6 units. Okay. 6 units, so I basically have a full comp. I just need to find maybe 1 more mage and I'm full build. Okay, well now I've got to find 2 more mages because I'm going to combine these wizards familiars and take that here. But yeah, I need to find 1 more, or now 2 more mages, that's right. Also looking for Forking Rod if we can find it, but not going to be so lucky. We are just going to sell out of these blind mice and then get back to casting. I am going to go for a knighthood on Aeon. I feel like it is early enough that that is going to pay for itself. So I wind up doing that, and then I'll feed Juliet to Kraken. Don't really need her, and then I'll wind up just casting a few more spells on Aeon. Unfortunately, we did not bring a monster with us, and then I will wind up dreaming into Gwen. So that'll give us another knighthood to be able to make some use of. And I do think we're pretty strong. I think it is worth locking onto the Gigantify now as well, because I think that Aeon is pretty likely to get a Slay, and then Gigantify's free. So now all of our spells cost 4 less this turn, and we should be doing pretty good. I think we're going to wind up getting our prized pig cracked on this one. We actually take a ton of damage, but, well, okay. It was close. We were close to taking a bunch of damage. It's always scary when I forgot about that part of the game, but it's always scary when Pumpkin is your opponent's last unit that you kill, but luckily my opponent didn't have that many evil units, so they didn't hit us for the full amount of damage but that could have gotten a little bit scary, but we are able to walk out of that one with a win. And totally forgot about this knighthood that I had in my hand. I'm going to cast that on Aeon now, and then I am going to dream again. And we have found the Forking Rod now that we've tripled on the Sporkos. So that's going to allow us to double dream, and we dream into Potion Master. And now we are really cooking. So now we've got 2 spells in our shop. All of our spells are going to cost like 4 to 6 less because of our Aeon and our Merlin's Hat. And then we're also going to see 2 spells in every single one of our shops. So we should be able to convert this into a pretty easy victory from here. We will just have to battle through these good boys, but both of our Aeons are going to slay, so our spells cost 6 less this turn. That's really sweet. And then we're still milking this prize pig. I mean, you don't milk a pig maybe, but we are still fattening up this prize pig, and that's actually the end of this game. This game ends right there. It was kind of a quick one in terms of how quickly just everything came together and it all ended, but that's why I also wanted to do 2 games in this video, and I really think that these Embiggening Stone games can be a lot of fun, and now Embiggening Stone is going to have a little bit more play to it. I think we're going to start to see it a little bit more, basically to leak a little bit of the changes that you should be seeing tomorrow. Again, none of these are set in stone, but the change to Embiggening Stone should be that all characters in your shop get +10/+10. So that is going to work with your trees and your other good boys and other late game units as well, but it's going to be slightly less numbers, 10/10 instead of 15/15, but I think it will still lead to some pretty powerful things. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.